The meeting of the Finance Committee to order. Note this meeting is being televised, streamed, or recorded by Bourne TV. If anyone in the audience is recording or videotaping, they need to acknowledge that at this time. Use of flash photography during Finance Committee meetings is prohibited. If anyone from the public wishes to access the meeting, they can do so by calling the following conference line, 1-929-205-6099, Zoom meeting ID 870-4430-5257, password FINCOM, FINCOM, all caps. The Zoom chat will not be monitored. Participants who wish to speak must raise the hand icon until the chair asks them to unmute. All items with the meeting agenda are subject to deliberation and votes. For excused member, we have our caller excused today. Next. Item 3, review and discuss all articles and motions for annual town meeting, voting recommendations. Sub-item A, the FY26 operating budget, including budget adjustments.
Thank you. So the motion was emailed last Friday, I believe, and this is the annual operating budget for FY26 for the general fund, including the 4 unions who have closed. So I'm closed with half of the group. The select board voted to accept the terms of those memorandums last Tuesday, and those changes have been incorporated into this motion. I do not expect any further groups to close before town meeting, so any other adjustments would wait until the fall town meeting.
Thank you. Any questions or comments about the operating budget? Thanks. Next, sewer budget.
So the sewer budget, the motion was also emailed, and this is the operating sewer budget, enterprise fund, self-supported by the ratepayers. And this also is up to date as far as any wage changes go for union personnel and non-union personnel. So this one, we're not expecting to need any changes at fall town meeting regarding wages. If something else happens before fall town meeting, then we'll revisit it then, but this is what we're proposing for FY26. And there is $100,000 of the budget offset by the use of retained earnings.
Thank you. And item C, the ISWIM budget.
The ISWIM budget is also self-supporting enterprise fund, and there may just be one employee in a group for this group there's 3. There's 3 employees in this budget that will, we're not closed yet with their group, so there may be some very slight adjustments in the fall, but this one is for the most part settled as well.
Thank you. And next was,
Do we want to vote our recommendations on those?
yeah, I might as well do that before we move on. Okay, does anyone want to make a motion about our recommendation on the FY26 operating budget? We have those motions somewhere in here.
Okay. I'll make a motion to recommend approval.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion on that? Okay, roll call vote. Tom?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Priscilla?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Thanks. Next, FY26 sewer budget.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval.
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion on the sewer budget? Okay, Tom?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Priscilla?
Yes.
And the chair votes yes. Thank you. Next, the ISWIM budget.
Make a motion to recommend approval?
I'll second.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Okay. Vote, Tom?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Priscilla?
yes,
And chair vote yes. Thank you. All right, next, review and discuss all articles and motions for the annual town meeting voting recommendations, which the only one left is the supplemental budget for the wastewater plan, right?
Yes, and sorry about that, there's a typo on the agenda. So this is the special town meeting, and the supplemental funds for the CWMP and the evaluation of watershed permits is Article number 1. And the select board has moved the amount of $200,000 from free cash to fund additional work for this purpose.
Thank you. Any questions or discussion on this additional? Go ahead.
I'll make a motion to recommend approval?
Thank you.
I'll second.
Any further discussion?
I just wanted to, clarify, as I haven't passed in parlay as, is if the 200,000 is not used, where does the remainder go?
It would, if it's not expended, it would close out to a future free cash balance in a future year.
Okay. Do we have like, records about when things come back and when you give an estimate, rough order of magnitude? Just curious on this and other items.
Yes, for every article that is funded, there is a condition of accounts. So if there's a particular article, if it's finished, we would show, the condition of accounts will show what any remaining balance is that would be returned to free cash.
Okay, is that accessible by the normal populace, or how's that work? Sorry to interrupt, but it's just a burning question I've had.
So the Finance Committee should request, whatever articles they would like to have an update on.
Thank you. And sometimes the town meeting has to vote to undo a prior article, right? Is that just through the whole
So
whole
those-
expenditures
Those are
canceled?
borrowing articles.
Okay.
Town meeting has, so if town meeting authorizes borrowing authority and not all of it is used, so let's say town meeting authorizes authority to borrow $500,000 for a new roof, and the project comes in at $400,000. Town meeting has to rescind that borrowing authority. So the ones that go back to town meeting for rescission are borrowing articles. Free cash, when the project is complete, it closes out and then is reported back to DOR as part of the next fiscal year's free cash balance. So town meeting, does have to vote to rescind borrowing authority, though.
Thank you.
Erica has her hand up.
Oh, hi, Erica, go ahead.
I also just wanted to note that the town report does have a listing of all the articles. Obviously, there's a little bit of a lag time. It's not current information, it's the prior year, but you could find that information, a summary of the year in the town report as well.
Thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, any further discussion on this special town meeting wastewater budget?
I'll make a motion to recommend approval?
Second.
Okay, Tom?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Priscilla?
Yeah, yes.
The chair votes yes. Thank you. So, review draft voter handbook. Thank you for sending that to us.
Does everything look accurate, especially as far as your votes go?
Let me double check that against this log here.
Sure, of
Thank you.
course.
Does anyone have any comments or questions on this draft voter handbook?
I didn't see anything.
If you see anything in the next 20 hours that is wrong, let me know, and I'll
We'll,
pass that on.
actually, if you catch anything before Friday, please let me know. We won't send it to the printers until Friday morning.
Oh, good. So we
So,
just have a little wiggle room.
It is a lot of, it's a lot of stuff that I look at multiple times, so for having fresh eyes is always appreciated. So if something looks odd or doesn't look right, please let me know, and I'll double check it before we send it to the printers.
Thank you. All right, next, assign articles. Some of you volunteered certain ones. I'll email everyone asking what they want or don't want, and assign them that way so we don't take up people's times here. I vote essential contingent articles.
So, on this warrant, there are no contingent articles. And for the annual town meeting warrant, for essential articles, I am recommending that they are Articles 1 through 12, 20, 22, and 23.
I'll make a motion to make Articles 1 through 12, 20, 22, and 23, to vote those as essential.
Second?
Thank you. Any further discussion on this, essential articles? Okay, Tom?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Dan?
Yes.
Priscilla?
I'm gonna abstain because I don't have the documents in front of me and haven't read the draft, looked at the draft.
Okay, and I'll vote yes. All right, next, Eric has put together for us some information about debt for enterprise funds. Eric, you have the floor or screen there.
Okay, thank you. So I think tonight's conversation about debt is a little bit simpler than the ones that we've had in the last couple meetings. So this is particular to the enterprise fund debt. Now, enterprise fund is separate from the general fund. It's its own account for reporting purposes. Any debt authorized is appropriated within the enterprise fund debt, within the enterprise fund budget. Both of our enterprise funds, the sewer enterprise fund and the ISWIM enterprise fund, are self-supporting. So any debt currently budgeted is not from taxation. So what I've provided with you in the memo is just some key elements of the existing debt. So the sewer enterprise fund, the only debt it currently has on the books is the Buzzards Bay wastewater treatment facility, and that's a state revolving loan, and the fund share is 72%. A portion of that was funded by the general fund, and that will mature in fiscal 43. And the sewer enterprise fund does have a few capital assessments with Wareham, which are based on Wareham's enterprise fund debt, but for us, that's considered an expense, so I wouldn't include this here because it wouldn't be counted against our debt authorizations, but I have listed it on the attached sheet just so you can kind of see what we have coming down the road with their projects. And the existing debt as a percent of the operating budget in the sewer fund is 16.7%. The ISWIM enterprise fund has various outstanding authorizations that were permanently borrowed dating back to July 2007 for the landfill phase 3, the processing center, recycling center, capping, road repairs, the North Slope cap and odor, part of the DPW facility, and page 4 liner. Last time the ISWIM Enterprise Fund issued any debt was in December of 2015. Existing debt as a percent of the ISWIM's operating budget is 2.6%. Following the memo, you'll see a summary of the sewer enterprise fund debt, similar to what I provided for the general fund excluded and non-excluded debt. And on the sewer enterprise fund schedule, I did show some assumptions and schedule out what the grinder pump project would look like and that impact on the budget, as well as the anticipated skater project that's expected to be voted, will be proposed in fiscal 2028. And then on the following schedule for the ISWIM debt payments, you'll see the current debt expense and the projected debt that would be incurred in connection with the ISWIM facility that has been moved forward to the fall town meeting. It's not coming up on the annual town meeting. So I'm happy to answer any questions you may have on this, but I think it's pretty straightforward.
Thank you. So Erica, if something bad happens to an enterprise fund, then it just becomes an obligation of the town, the rest of the town, somehow?
Yep, so all of the debt is an obligation of the town. So if for some reason the the enterprise fund were to, I guess, de-enterprise, or if they had negative retained earnings, that would have to be raised by the town.
Thank you.
So it's possible, but usually we have some warnings before those things happen, and we'll do our best to make sure that doesn't happen.
Thanks. Anyone have any questions for Erica?
I believe it was the first article this evening. We approved $100,000 from free cash to sewer.
$200,000, not, and it's not for sewer, it's for the comprehensive wastewater management plan. So it's not for the sewer service area. So it's not specific to the ratepayers, it's a town-wide plan, which is why it's free cash and not sewer enterprise funds.
Thank you.
Moving your hand, okay. Thank you. Any questions or comments for Erica or about debt? All right, thank you. We appreciate that.
Welcome.
Next, correspondence.
I don't think there was any for this week.
Oh, what a surprise. And we don't have any minutes. So the next meeting will be before the town meeting. Usually do it 6:30.
I think we posted you for 6:30.
And we'll see, there's just not, maybe we'll have some minutes from the last couple of meetings or this meeting. That's the only foreseeable thing there. Do you think, I know one step at a time, but do you think we'll be meeting again after town meeting before the end of the fiscal year?
If the committee has business, I don't necessarily, I will reach out if we have any reserve fund transfers. That could be something that I would need the committee to meet for, but I don't have any right now immediately. So it'll really just depend on how we're looking at the end of the close of the fiscal year, if there's anybody who needs reserve fund transfers. I will reach out to you with a proposed meeting schedule in advance of the fall town meeting. And otherwise, I'll wait to hear from you about what you might need from me.
Okay, thank you. All right, anything else before we adjourn? No? Motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn?
Second?
Thank you. Okay, roll call vote. Tom?
Yes.
Wayne?
Yes.
Amanda?
Yes.
Dan?
Yep.
Priscilla?
Yes.
And chair votes yes. Thank you.